Hello, welcome back to my channel. My name is Katie. So today's video we're going to be doing another first impressions video. This is for May. So I've got a bunch of makeup products here, got a lot of different brands. I've got a lot of products from SOSU, Suan Jackson's brand. I've got a few Gosh products. I've got some Physicians Formula, Spectrum, Revolution. Yeah. Random bunch of brands. I got an Uoma Beauty concealer. I got most of this stuff off of Beauty Bay, and I've got some of it off of Notino. I'm very excited to get this stuff on my face because I've been sick all this week. My skin has decided it wants to have a reaction to some moisturizer, so a glow up is definitely needed. Yeah, as I said, my skin is like in a little bit of a state. I've kind of got a bit of a rash, like my under eyes, my eyes in particular are quite scaly right now. I've discovered that vitamin C in like skincare just does not agree with my skin, so we won't be buying any more vitamin C skincare related products. So if I don't get like the best performance from the base products, I'm not gonna completely judge it on that. I will wait for my skin to clear up a bit, obviously, and be retrying things. As per usual, I always do an updated makeup review on my first impressions anyway. I don't actually have an eyeshadow palette for this first impression, so it's gonna be quite a simple, basic makeup look today. Some palettes that I've sort of like, should I buy this? Like, there was one from like Be Perfect. Can't remember the name of it. I'll put a screenshot on screen. I was like, I kind of want to buy this, but then I've got so many eyeshadow palettes. Do I need to buy this? But I did decide against it. So I'm going to start by testing the concealer that I got out in my eye area. So I decided to get the Uoma. Is that how you pronounce it? Uoma? Uoma. I'm just going to say Uoma. The Uoma Beauty Stay Woke Concealer. And I got mine in the shade White Pearl, which I believe is the lightest shade, and I wasn't sure how light it was going to be because I feel like it looked kind of deep online, like the lighter shades, but then now that I have it, this is actually super pale, so I probably could have gone a shade down. It's got a very big doe foot, which we love. We love things that disperse a lot of product. So I'm going to just test this out on my eye area, just on one eye, so then I can compare it to a bare eye. As I said, my eyes are a little bit scaly right now, so if this doesn't like sit the best on top of that, and I'm not going to judge it too harshly, I just kind of want to see what the coverage is like, really, as opposed to like the finish of it, because I feel like, because my skin's pretty scaly, it might not have the nicest finish. It's definitely pretty fair, very fair actually. In fact, this is probably going to be more of a brightening shade than me, as opposed to matching my skin tone. It's definitely too light to match my skin tone. Yeah, I probably could have gone a shade or two down actually. I just really wasn't sure because like the swatches I feel like looked a little bit different to how it looks in person. So I'm just gonna blend that out. Okay, so there you go. I mean, it does look scaly, but as I said, my eyes are scaly, it's gonna look scaly. But I'm pretty impressed with the coverage. I'm just gonna get those side by side and look up and down. Yeah, that's got pretty damn good coverage. I'd say it's bordering on full coverage. Yeah, I can't really see my veins that much, and I can't see my bag that much, maybe like a tiny bit, but yeah, I'm pretty impressed with the coverage. It doesn't seem like too dry either. I feel like it's probably got a good balance between not being overly oily but not being too dry. Obviously I need to try this on my skin. It isn't a scaly mess, but I'm pretty impressed with that. Just on my eye area, that's pretty decent. I like that. It's definitely very pale. Kind of wishing I got the shade below now, because I'm not going to be able to use this on my blemishes really. It's going to be like a brightening thing. Thing is, it is quite an expensive concealer, so I didn't really want to get two shades because it's like about £23, so it's not a cheap concealer. So I'm going to wipe that off, and then we're just going to move on to foundation. As I said, we don't have any eyeshadow, so I don't have a primer, so we're going straight on to foundation. The foundation, I've wanted this foundation for a while. It's been out for quite a while now. It is the Gosh Dextreme foundation for coverage. It's in the shade 002. It's this guy here. Yeah, I wanted this for quite a while. I just hadn't gotten around to buying it because there's just other foundations that I wanted slightly more at the time. I was originally going to buy this on Superdrug, but it seemed to sort of, like, there was only one shade there. Like, all the other shades just disappeared from Superdrug. But I ended up buying it off a website called Notino, where they had all of the shades. The shade range is really not very good with this. There was not a lot to choose from. I've got 002, which is the lightest shade, and I've already looked at it, and it does look quite orangey for the lightest shade. shade. I imagine it probably doesn't go very deep either. The shade range is something that they should probably work on. I know Gosh is a Danish brand. I think it's quite widely available in Europe. I don't know what countries exactly you can get it in, but you can get it in the UK. I did also get the powdered foundation version of this. I ordered it off of eBay though, so it hasn't arrived yet, but I've got a different powder for this video anyway, but I will use that at some point in a video. This is what this 002 shade looks like. It's obviously fair, but it does look a bit orangey, so I will probably put a little bit of white mixer in with that, just because I feel like it is probably going to look a little bit orangey on me. So I'm just going to add a little bit of the LA Girl mixing pigment. Okay, this might still be a bit, no, actually I think that's a pretty good mix. So let's go ahead and blend this on the skin. I'm interested to see what this is like, because I've not really heard much about it. I've not really looked at any reviews for it or anything. But when I saw it, I feel like it seemed like the sort of thing I'd be into. It's like full coverage. I like full coverage, you know. Give me coverage, please. Especially need it with the state of my skin right now. Yeah, I feel like I got that mix pretty good actually. That's probably a pretty good match. Okay, this actually looks really nice. It's got really good coverage. I would say it's like a high medium, buildable probably to full coverage. That's covered really well. It looks nice in the skin. I'd say it's more of a matte finish, but like there's a little bit of radiance, a little bit of hydration there. So I say it's semi-matte but leaning more towards matte. It looks nice. It looks smooth on the skin, which is especially difficult because my skin is not smooth right now. I'm really impressed with it actually. I think it looks really nice actually. I'm enjoying that foundation quite a lot just from first use. Obviously the shade situation, I mean the mix I got, feels pretty good. I've got a feeling this probably will oxidize a little bit, I don't know, I just have a feeling it will. They definitely need to expand their shade range because I actually think just based on first use this is a really nice formula. I'm pretty impressed with that actually. I think it looks really nice on the skin, and I can imagine if I didn't have the skin texture I have now, it'd probably look even nicer. Okay, so we're going to go back to the Uoma concealer. Again, because this is so pale, I'm probably only going to be able to use this in the eye area. I might just have to use an older concealer just to put on my blemishes, because I feel like if I use this on my blemishes, it's just going to draw more attention to them. But to be fair, the foundation already did a pretty good job with my blemishes. But we'll just use this to sort of brighten. I mean, it's added coverage, it's blended on top of the foundation fine. It still looks a bit scaly in my eye area, but as I said, that is not the concealer's fault. It's because, well, any concealer would look like that right now when you've got scaly eyes. I do like it from first use. I just kind of wish I'd gotten a shade below so I could use it on blemishes as well. I'm just going to add a tiny bit of my Benefit Boing concealer just on some blemishes. To be fair, foundation has covered them pretty well. Just need a tiny bit more really. Okay, so moving on to setting powder. I have a new powder from Revolution. This is their super matte powder, non-comedogenic, I don't know what that means, with pink clay and niacinamide. I can't do this. And it's in the shade translucent. It looks like this. So I got this off of Beauty Bay, and then I looked on the Revolution website and it wasn't actually on there yet. It was only on Beauty Bay. I think by the time I've uploaded this video it probably will be on the Revolution website. But yeah, so I don't really know anything about this powder. I feel like I have a pretty 50-50 experience when it comes to Revolution setting powders. Some of them I really like, some of them I don't like really, so this could go either way. It's the only powder I've got, so I will use it to set my whole face down, including my under eyes, which I usually use loose powders on, but we'll see how this goes. Yeah, it did come in quite a few shades, but I wanted to go safe and just go with the translucent one. It has still got like a bit of a tint to it though, despite the fact that it's translucent, so I don't know if it, I feel like it will probably won't, I can't imagine that it will look like that translucent to be honest, but we'll see. Okay, so I'm going to use this little brush to set my under eyes, and then we'll switch to our big brush to the rest of my face. I think that powder has done a pretty good job. It's mattified. I feel like it's pretty smooth looking. It's kind of blurred my pores out a bit. I don't know if I love it for the eye area, but I generally go for loose powders in the eye area anyway. But I think it's done a pretty good job at the rest of my face though. I think it looks pretty smooth, pretty nice, not too heavy, not too cakey. The shade has worked fine, but I'm not convinced that it's translucent. I feel like this wouldn't work on a deep skin tone, but they do have deeper shades of this. From first use, I'm liking it, but I don't know if I'd use it in the eye area necessarily. So moving on to cheeks. For bronzer, I've got a product from Revolution. This is the Revolution Glow Splendor Ultra Matte Bronzer, and this is in the shade Fair. It's absolutely massive. They've had these for a while, but they came out with a couple more shades, including a fairer one. It does look pretty fair. I'm hoping that this translates nicely onto the face. It's massive. It also smells like really fruity, which is nice. I do like it when powder products have a smell. So I'm definitely looking a bit flat right now, so let's hope this can give me a bit of warmth and a bit of sculpture. Okay, so I'm just gonna put some of this on all over the face and hope the shade works okay. Okay, so the formula's really nice. It's blending out nicely. It's definitely added warmth and a bit of structure to my face. I feel like I have found better shades for fair skin in terms of bronze. Like, it's done a good job. It works. I can get away with the shade. But there are better shades out there, I think, for the palest people. But I feel like it's done a good job. Like, I don't feel like it looks like... I don't look at it and think, wow, my bronze is too dark. I feel like the shade does work. I've just found slightly better ones in my collection, but I think it has done a pretty good job, to be fair. I like it. I've actually got two highlighters to try out. So I've got one from Physicians Formula. This is their Butter Highlighter, and it's in the shade Pearl. And I swatched this yesterday, and oh my god, the texture, it's like creamy. It's so, like, it's so soft. It's like a powder, but it's like a sort of creamy powder. It feels really nice. I think that translates into the face well. Then I've also got a highlighter from Spectrum. This is their Oceana Oyster highlighter, which looks like this. It's kind of a sort of pale goldy sort of shade. That's a swatch of it. It does seem to have a decent amount of pigmentation. The shade looks really nice. Okay, I'm going to try out the Spectrum one first on one cheekbone, and then I will try the Physicians Formula one. Okay, let's give this a go on this side. Okay, that actually does look pretty gorgeous. That actually looks pretty stunning. I think that's really pretty. It's got good pigmentation. Very shimmery, very ethereal. I feel like if you've got textured skin, this probably will pick up on it. I am noticing that it does look a little bit textured, but it still looks pretty. I'm going to use the Physicians Formula one now. I mean, because it's quite creamy, I assume I can still use a brush with it. I don't know if anyone's tried this highlighter and has like a optimal way of applying it. Let me know. So let's try Physicians Formula on this side. I mean, it's definitely picking up the product. Just feeling like I don't know if like maybe using your finger is a bit better with this or something. But I mean, it's definitely showing up. Okay, yeah, that looks pretty stunning actually. I feel like that one's probably a little less texture emphasizing than the Spectrum one, but it's still got really good pigment. I actually think that looks really nice. Again, I'm sort of been mixing between my brush and the finger with it though. It does work on the brush, but I think it does work well with the finger too. I think I'm gonna stick with the Physicians Formula one and just layer that up all over the face now. I think they're both pretty stunning highlighters though. They've both impressed me, to be fair. Yeah, I'm really liking this Physicians Formula one. I've just put a bit of it on my eyelids as well. It's very like wet looking. I think obviously that's probably because it is a sort of powdery, creamy kind of formula, but like it doesn't seem to have like sat weirdly over powder at the same time. Yeah, I'm quite liking that from first use. Okay, so we're gonna move on to brows now. So I've got Beauty Bay's new brow gel. This is their Brow Fixer Fiber Gel, and I got mine in the shade Sable. The packaging's really similar to the Makeup Obsession one that I'm using at the moment. Really like the size of the wand. That's like my perfect size for a brow gel, so I'm just going to tap off the excess. It does have a bit of excess, but not too much actually. That's really not that bad. So I've got high hopes of this. It's quite a cool dark brown, which is what I usually go for. So I'm just going to brush this through my brows. This eyebrow's a little bit messy, but don't worry, I'm gonna fix it. But I think the brow gel itself is pretty good. It's fairly natural, it's not too intense, not too pigmented, the form is good, the shade's good. I think that could potentially be a decent brow gel. I really need to fix this brow though. I have got a micro brow pencil, which I'm gonna use next. So this is a product from SOSU, Sue Ann Jackson. This is their Eye Voltage Eyebrow Pencil in the shade medium. Looks like this is a pretty standard micro brow pencil. You've got your spoolie on one end and your pencil on the other. So I need to fix this brow immediately. So let's do that. I don't know if this pencil really agrees with the gel very well. I mean, it's definitely improved. I've got a bit more structure to these brows now. I don't know if those two products like each other that much, but yeah, they're not bad brows. They're okay. I'm happy with it. I will obviously need to try this pencil out by itself. It did seem a little bit like harsh almost, and it's a little bit like thicker than other micro brow pencils I've used, and I generally prefer them, the thinner the better. So I've got another product from SOSU. So this is their eyeliner duo. It's got a pencil liner and a liquid liner in it. They both have this very lovely gold packaging. So when I looked at the reviews, there are some people that said that the liquid liner is good, but that it dries out fast, and no one really complained much about the kohl pencil. So we'll obviously have to keep an eye on this over the weeks and see if it does run out fast. But we're going to start with the kohl pencil, which looks like this, and I'm just going to pop this in my top and bottom waterlines. That glided on really smoothly, and as you can see, the pigment is very intense. So far so good with the kohl pencil, but obviously I need to see what the wear is like, how much it gathers in my inner corners. We're going to move on to the liquid liner. I don't want to go too intense here, but we'll see. Pretty thin nib. So I'm just going to try and do something small, see how this goes. Okay, I tried to do a pretty baby wing because I didn't want anything too out there. They don't look even at all. I think it applied really well. It was pretty easy to use. The pigmentation's there. But again, a lot of the reviews are saying that it does dry out fast, so we'll have to obviously keep an eye on that. I've actually got two mascaras to try out. Both of these are from Gosh. So I've got their Boombastic Overdose Volume Mascara, and I've got their Catchy Eyes Drama Mascara. Now I've tried Gosh mascaras in the past, and generally I have a mixed experience of there's some that I've really liked and some that I've just found quite underwhelming. So this could go either way, but I did look up a few videos of these mascaras and I did see some people get some good results with them. Every time I wear liquid eyeliner, I feel like it really detracts from the mascara, so you don't get to see it at its full impact because you've got this thick black pigment behind it. But nonetheless, so I'm going to use one on one eye and one on the other, and we will see what these are like. In fact, I will curl my lashes first. Okay, I think I will start with the Catchy Eyes Drama Mascara first. I think there was one that had there was one that I think was also called Catchy Eyes in a pink tube that I remember trying quite a while ago. I think I liked it from memory. So I'm going to use this one on this eye. Might as well do my top and my bottom lashes. Okay, so that's what the Catchy Eyes Drama looks like. I'm pretty impressed with it. I think it has got pretty good volume, pretty good length. I feel like you'd be able to see it a lot better without the eyeliner, but I'm pretty impressed with that from first use. I feel like it's definitely got a lot of lash impact there. So I'm going to use the Boombastic Overdose Volume Mascara now and see if this is better or worse, whatever. This one's got a chunkier wand. The Catchy Eyes is a curved wand. Alright, let's give this a go on the other eye. Okay, so that one's definitely done a pretty good job too. That one's really dramatic. I feel like this one's maybe a tiny bit more dramatic. You can definitely see the thickness and the volume there. It's a bit messy. I've definitely made quite a bit of a mess on my eyelids, but that's okay. That's easily fixed. What do you think? I feel like this one is, the Boombastic one's a little bit more dramatic. This is a little bit more like wispy. So I guess it just depends what sort of lash you're into really, but I actually quite like both of them, to be fair. I want to see what they look like without like heavy eye makeup underneath. Yeah, I would say I'm impressed with both of those mascaras. Okay, so the last thing we've got to try is another product from SOSU. This is the Let Them Talk matte lipstick in the shade Who Me. That annoying thing that Siri always says. So the packaging looks like this, quite funky. So it is a nude shade. It's quite a pinky nude. I feel like generally I go for more brownie nudes, but I've not got anything against pinky nudes either. I mean, my lips are naturally quite pink anyway, so sometimes they do suit me quite well. So it's supposed to be a matte lipstick, so I hope that is the case, but so let's give this a go. I like the shade, it's got good pigment. It feels quite creamy though, so it doesn't strike me as particularly matte, but I will give it a little bit of time. It might be one of those things where it just needs to sort of dry down. It does say here, creamy upon application, but then it says matte finish, so maybe it will sort of dry down. It says subtle vanilla scent. It's not subtle, it's a very strong scent. It's nice though. I like the scent. So yeah, I'm not sure how I feel about this at the moment, but I will give it a little bit of time to settle. That is everything tried, so I'm going to do something on my hair, clean up the mascara that's probably all over my eyelids, and then we will talk about our final thoughts and everything. Okay, so we are back with the finished look. This lipstick, still pretty creamy. Yeah, this lipstick's still pretty creamy. I don't feel like it has really got that matte finish, to be honest, which is a little bit disappointing. I like the shade, you know, it's fine, but I just would have preferred it to be a little less creamy, because I just feel like it's going to transfer, and you know, especially when you're going out with masks on and stuff, it just feel like it's going to just get on your mask. So if you've got something matte, it's like a bit less likely to transfer. Okay, so overall I feel like the base products I'm liking. The Uoma concealer was really nice, really good coverage. The Gosh foundation, really good coverage, really like the finish of it. Thought it looked pretty smooth, pretty nice on the skin. Obviously I've got to see what the wear's like. The shade range is awful. I definitely would need to keep using white mixer with this. It would just look way too orangey on its own. I think the Revolution powder, I don't really like it under the eyes. I feel like it's looking a bit crepey under there, but for the rest of the face I feel like it had a pretty nice smoothing finish. So it's the sort of thing where I'd want to use a loose powder under the eyes, but I'd be happy to use it for the rest of my face. I think the bronzer was pretty good. I really liked the formula of it. Do I think it's the best shade for pale skin ever in a bronzer? No, but it's definitely, you can get away with it if you've got fair skin. This Physicians Formula highlighter, it does look really stunning. The pigment's there. I like the wet texture of it. However, I did put some on the eyes, and I've noticed, I don't know if you can see, but it proper like separates into your eyes, so I wouldn't use this in areas that are like a bit creasy. You'd want to use it in the more flat places in your face. Like I feel like it looks good on my cheekbones and stuff, like on my eyes and a little bit on my cupid's bow. It's kind of gone a bit weird, and I think that is because obviously it is quite like a wet creamy texture, but I think but in certain points I think it does look pretty stunning. I just think in areas where you've got creases and lines, this probably is going to separate and not look so good. But the pigmentation, the colour, I love everything else about it. Spectrum one is pretty stunning. Two, really good pigmentation. You're not going to have the same issue of separation because this is just a straight up powder. The only thing really with this is that if you have got quite textured skin, I feel like it's not going to downplay it at all. It may emphasise it slightly, but I do still think this is a really nice highlighter. Beauty Bay Brow Gel I think is really good. I think the pencil is pretty good too, but I do need to try that out some more. I think the SOSU eyeliner, I think both of the eyeliners from SOSU, the kohl one and the liquid one, have performed really well. Both of the Gosh mascaras I think have done a really good job, very volumizing, very impactful. Yeah, the lipstick, it's just a bit too creamy for me personally, but I think I've tried some pretty good products here. I feel like most of it I'm pretty impressed with. Of course I will be doing an updated makeup review on all of these products, so that'll be a May/June updated makeup review. I'm going to add my June products into that as well, so that'll probably be out like late summer, early autumn. So that's all for this video. Thank you for watching. I will see you in my next one. Goodbye.